Hey tubers, it's Ben the Curious Consumer, and if you're anything like me, you've been searching online for the perfect PlayStation 4 controller. You may have looked at a bunch of different controllers, but what if I told you the best controller you can get on the market is your own? The PlayStation 4 controller is a beautiful precision controller. It fits comfortably in the hands, and if you're like me, you probably prefer it over the last generation PlayStation 3 controllers that have left a little bit to be desired in innovation. The new controllers fit in the hand perfectly, ergonomically great, the buttons feel good, and just everything about it all around is a great controller. But what if you could add the functionality of a SCUF controller, but with the precision of a PlayStation 4 controller? Well, I found the perfect product online, and it's made by a company called eXtremeRate. You may be familiar with them. eXtremeRate reached out to me recently and sent me a unit to try. I'm going to show you how to install this. It's a DIY kit that's available on Amazon.com. I will leave links in the description below for you to check it out. Let's see how easy it is to install this modification kit. Inside the remap kit, you're going to get a couple of these anti-static bags, which are going to have some extra buttons in one, some extra parts and wires in that same bag. And in the other bag, you're going to get the modification chip with the buttons. You're also going to get this ribbon cable in there as well, which is going to make the connection from the motherboard to the controller. You're also going to get some tools, a spudger and a screwdriver, some extra screws, and of course you're going to get the button covers that are going to go inside of the backing of this controller. So this kit allows you to reassign any of the 15 buttons that are on the controller to the back triggers. Notably, the directional pad, the square, triangle, circle, and X buttons, plus both triggers can be reassigned. And if you decide to solder the extra wires on the controller, you can actually reassign the thumbsticks, the buttons on the thumbsticks, the L3, R3, and the touchpad button to another location. The eXtremeRate kit itself is the Dawn Remap Kit. It allows you to remap on the controllers, the JDM 40s, 50s, and 55s only. The remap modification gives you a competitive edge in online gaming and in tournaments, and is totally legal as far as we know. It gives you a great advantage during first-person shooters, so now you don't have to take your thumbs off of the sticks in order to reload, jump, or do melee attacks. You can all control that from the back. The design itself lends itself to a single finger design as opposed to a double finger design, depending on how you hold your controller. So for me, my middle fingers actually rest right along the two buttons there. With that one finger, I don't have to really move with another finger there. You will need to take your controller apart, obviously. Some skill is required. However, it is not an overly difficult modification to do. Most other modification kits require you to use glue or solder. This one doesn't require you to do that unless you want to add the added functionality to the controllers itself. In this case, it doesn't take much to do. You could just use it, just plug it in the way it is. It'll use double-sided tape. You don't have to actually glue or hot glue anything down. And if you do want to add the added functionality, that's when you'll need some basic soldering skills. But even then, you don't have to be super good at soldering. You just have to know the basics of soldering. If you don't want the L3, R3, or touchpad, it isn't necessary to remap those. But if you'd like to have that option, that's when that soldering skill would be required. There is an installation guide on YouTube. Just research the eXtremeRate PS4 Dawn Remap Guide. Why not turn your PS4 controller into a professional eSport elite gaming controller? With 4 ergonomic programmable buttons on the back, which adds maximum flexibility because you can remap 15 of the face buttons to the back buttons on your controller. Definitely something to take a look at. And so that's it. The process was pretty simple, and what makes it really easy is the fact that the controller modification kit comes with these really great detailed directions. I know I just went through a really quick fast forward through how to put this thing together, but really eXtremeRate does a great job going step by step through the entire process with these colored pictures, and it tells you specifically what to do and how to do it, very detailed in this directions kit. And how did the controller come out? Well, here's the finished product. It looks exactly like a PlayStation 4 controller with some added flair. On the back here, you've got that carbon fiber look. You've got the extra triggers here, which are extremely simple to remap. All you've got to do is have a little bit of power on your controller, like I do here. See, I have the power on. And right around this area here, there's a little hole. I don't know if you can see that there. That hole will light up. If I hold my finger down here for a few seconds, I think it's about 5 seconds or so, there's a plate inside that actually senses the heat from your finger, and what it'll do is it'll turn this on. Now, if I decide to remap a button, all I have to do is press the button down and hold the button specifically that I want to be that button combination, and it will remap the button. So if I think I want to do, let's say my circle button, I want the circle button on the front to be mapped to this port, this button here on the bottom, all I have to do is hold the circle button down and this button, hold them down, you'll see that light in the back. We'll blink a couple times. Now it's set up, and every time I press this button, it'll be my circle button. It's that easy. It's remappable to any of the buttons that you see on the controller. So there's 15 buttons. That means you can remap any of those 15 buttons specifically to these areas here. A great little device. I've used it a ton since I've modified my controller. It's awesome. It works well. That's going to do it for me, guys. Well, if you're going to check this out, again, I will leave links in the description below for you guys for the United States and the UK. So if you're looking to actually modify your controller, that's how you do it right there. It's the eXtremeRate Remappable Button Kit, again, on Amazon. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. If you guys enjoyed this video, give us a big thumbs up. Leave some comments down below. What is your favorite modified controller? Don't forget to check back with us as often as you'd like. If you haven't done so already, consider subscribing. And once you do that, just hit that little bell notification down below and you will be notified every time we post a new video. And as always, guys, stay curious and thanks for watching. See ya.